Okay, we're going to watch a video, and so you need to watch how this is done maybe. So we're going to be fictitious JimBob Jr. student, fictitious Cory-Rawson student JimBob Jr. I just opened my Chromebook, pushed on, so this is a school device. Let me shut this door while that's coming up. So you should start with your school device off, all your apps off, shut it down, and then just use your school device as signed up from scratch. And when you do, it may come up something like this where you have some choices. It may not. It may just come up that you're signed in or you're ready to go. So I'm going to sign in as fictitious student JimBob Jr. And you probably don't have to do this step every time. A little slow here today on the internet, so you'll come up to a screen. It may look like this, it may be a different background, but then you have Google Chrome. And the first thing you need to do is sign, whoops, I think I hit that twice. Sign on to your Google Mail. There it's showing that he's already signed into Google Mail. Just to check that, I will make sure. Now, if you sign into Google Mail first, it will let you sign into Schoology or Edpuzzle later. If you don't, you will not be able to get in. Okay, so we've got that. The next thing you want to do is sign into Schoology. Okay, so we'll just Google search the word Schoology. I've already searched it, so there it is. Okay, and you want the Schoology Learning Power School. And they merged or were bought by Power School, I'm not sure which. So I'm going to click that, and that comes up to here. You don't want all these drop-down menus that have 50,000 different things that are dumb. Okay, you want this login, so don't come in over the top or it'll think you want to drop down. So you just click login, and then it's the old school Schoology page. And we're going to sign in as JimBob Jr. Now, if you're already into Schoology, you can skip this step. And it's 24junior at Cory-Rawson.org. And then the password is, you would need to do this maybe to get in, if you haven't already been in Schoology recently. Okay, then there it is. All right, so it'll bring up JimBob Jr.'s Schoology page. There he is. And the courses he's in are two. One's general science, one's physical science. This year, 22-23, period 1. Click there. He shows up on the roster. Maybe you've seen him around. And we're going to watch a video. So you click here, and you go to videos, and first 9 weeks. And we're going to go to week 1, 2. Let's set this up for the second week. And you, when you get here, are going to click first video, and everything you do from here is the same. I'm going to click demonstration video as JimBob Jr., and it goes here. And then you get the frowny puzzle. Edpuzzle refused to connect. So you're going to export and go to Edpuzzle. There's a little box with an arrow. So you go, when you get to the frowny face, you go to the little box with the arrow, and it takes you out to Edpuzzle. And you're going to be redirected. So just go ahead and all that gobbledygook there, click on that, you're redirected. And there you go. You're out to Edpuzzle. And here's what you don't want to do. I intentionally signed out earlier. You do not want to try to put in the username and password. You'll get nowhere. Remember earlier we signed in with Google Mail? That's why. So we could go down here and you just sign in with Google and it will take you there. Okay, there's the video that JimBob Jr. is going to watch. So he's going to start it and start watching this 3-minute video. And there's Werner von Braun. He's like, oh, this is boring. I don't want to listen to Werner von Braun. So I'm going to skip ahead and watch what happens down here when I try to skip ahead and say I watch the whole thing because I don't want to. It'll show locked, so it's going to force you to watch it. Now, what I do when that time comes, here's the rocket launch. Here's what I see. I can see that you started it. So there's my Edpuzzle on my computer, and I can refresh this And you can see when I scroll down to JimBob Jr., where'd he go? H-I-J. I think I'm looking at the wrong section maybe. There, down at the bottom. Started a few seconds ago, so let me refresh it again. It's showing me what you're watching when. Okay, about a third of the way done. And when you are all the way done, that's when it will finish up on its own. So don't you skip ahead, don't you stop it or anything. You let it play all the way till it's done, and then it will record on its own. So that's how you do it.